Hey everybody, Bobby Arneson. Thanks for joining me again. Doing something a little bit different today. Normally you guys see me out on the ice fishing. Today I'm in my garage slash gym, more gym than garage, but today we're going to use it as a garage. And I've got something to show you guys today. I'm pretty excited about it. I got myself an Eskape 2800. Don't know if you can see that down there, you guys. There it is, all boxed up. And I got all the accoutrement for it. We got the 70-inch sled tracking kit, the Easy Stow pivoting tow hitch, which pivots over the toboggan so that it's smaller for transport, and of course the travel cover for it. So we're trying to keep as much snow as we can out of our gear. So today I'm going to be assembling that, hopefully today. Okay, let's open this up. Going to be starting with the runner kit. It sounds like there's a lot of stuff floating around in there hardware wise. To be careful opening this up, we don't lose anything right off the bat. Yeah, all the hardware's loose. Not ideal. I'm not sure if that's how it was supposed to be packed, or well, there goes my idea of being careful. Was there ever a bag in there? Oh yeah, there it is. What a mess, you guys. I'll get these runners. It comes with 5 runners that should be 70 inches in length. Put them kind of closer to the heater here. Okay, so what we have here is a drill bit that it comes with. Pretty nice touch. That's made for punching those holes into the runners and into the toboggan at the proper depth so they don't go to where you need them. Okay, so this is the chairs here. With the 2800, you get 2 individual chairs. Same with the 2600. With the 2400, you get bench. I like the bench idea because then you could have 3 people in there pretty easily. Here you only have 2 chairs. But again, I wanted the bigger toboggan and probably remove a chair most days when I'm by myself or sleeping over in it. The tarp, which this is probably most of the weight. It's very well insulated. Kit parts box. Okay, so probably a lot of hardware for the chairs and such. Frame parts. This is what we want right now, and this is why Emily's going to be super necessary here. So let's maybe start with it on its head. So we'll need that measuring tape, and I'll use a marker. So let's measure these off. That is solid. Maybe I'll move it right there. Well, I think we got that figured out. Let's just mark all the other ones now beside it. So yeah, it goes right down in that groove. Okay, so now we gotta do this jigging around where we tip it up. Oh. Blew it. Broke her off. How? Just turned it too much, over tightened it. My famous friggin' move. And I don't know if this will require some heat put on it or not. It's actually bending not too bad, eh? Having these inside last night was probably a good idea, not sitting out here being extra ice cold. Emily's had to go to work. She helped me for as long as she could. We've got 2 runners completely on with 7 screws in each, or 7 bolts in each. And we've got the last 3 runners started with the front 2 screws in place, just because that's where the bend is. It seems to be kind of the most difficult for someone to do by themselves. So I want to get those done. A little bit of change of plans, but doing this by yourself will have been very difficult for sure. We've been at it now together to get to this point for about, I would say, around 40 minutes or so, maybe 45. A lot of that was just screwing around with the measuring and trying to get the hole set. Like that turned into a little bit of a mind betting experience, all sorts of quadratic equations coming to mind there for simple space in here. But So the next 5 holes on the next 3 runners are mostly just flat. Should be fairly easy to get me, for me to do by myself, or I have to just mess around with flipping the tub back and forth and backing up the screw that I'm bolting together. But nothing that anybody else hasn't done before who's put one of these together. So very fortunate to have Emily to come out and help me with this stuff. Anyway, let's get to it and hopefully get done in the next, I don't know, half hour or so would be nice. Thanks to Emily, this job was a lot easier. Not that it didn't have its challenges. I was at it for about an hour and 20 minutes. So I think what I'm gonna do there is just take a little cat break, go check on our cat Ned there, the little Bengal, and then come back out and continue on my way with, I think the next is probably gonna be installing the hitch maybe, or the seats, or vice versa, not sure which, before I get on to connecting the frame together and then putting it onto the toboggan. Okay, so let's get these brackets on the toboggan. What we need to do here is take these brackets, put them on the front here, and they're going to contain this, or capture this onto the toboggan. If I just tip this upside down, yeah, that went exactly how it should have. Now that seat probably has to be captured on these rails before I tighten this right up, or I won't be able to get it back on. So gotta leave plenty of wiggle room for that. So other than some of the pain involved so far in putting the Hyfax on, the runner kit, not really that complicated of a build. Obviously, if I can do it, anyone can. Dose. Okay, and we're back. Going to finish assembling these chairs, or attaching them to the toboggan now. So got these rails that they'll, or these spindles that they'll pivot on or rotate on up and out of the way when you want to get into the toboggan. You can fasten them to the back of the frame of the canopy, is my understanding, and got these little lock pins to keep them in place. So pretty simple task. We'll just get that done now. So these slide back and forth and go this way and this way. And then when you want them out of the way, you can fasten them up against, there's going to be a wall here. And there's going to be a Velcro strap. You can put them out of the way if you need to dig around in your toboggan. So the actual screws for connecting the frame together come in the box with the frame, so don't get them confused with some of the other screws in the other hardware container. So these are the screws. You put 2 in each piece connecting them, even though there'll be 4 pre-drilled holes. Okay, now to figure out which pieces go where. These are the longer pieces here, and I believe those go at the back, connected to the 4 spanning pieces that are all the same length and dimensions. They go inside there. We have to take now the shorter pieces that are the same as what we just had and assemble them together. So that piece and that piece. All right, so this next smaller piece, then the last elbow joint we had, goes into another one of these spans that go across. Just making sure these are tight enough. Confusing instructions, though, I tell ya. There should be 3 total loop pull finished assemblies when this step is complete. Okay, so I gotta do this one more time. So here we go. We've got the 3 sections here attached to the curved pieces, 2 tapping screws each end, even though there's 4 pre-drilled holes in this centerpiece. You only use the 2, and they kind of show you which 2 to use. I think I did that right. And yeah, that'll be kind of like what holds over the canopy over top of you, or folds over top of you. And we got one more of these centerpieces, which must be to connect these 2 pieces that go on the floor. So, we've got those on. We've got these loops put together with those spanning pieces. We've got the loops assembled with the self-tapping screws. And we've got this little doohickey here that everything's gonna pivot off of onto the toboggan. So away we go. Okay, as you can see, making more progress here on the tent. We're getting some of the loops that will handle the canopy on. Got the first loop on, we've got 2 more to go, and then the floor. And then we'll be pretty close to putting on the spreader bars, pulling over the canvas. I keep calling it canvas, but the tent, and sizing it up there to attach the Velcro, put the weather stripping on, all that good stuff. So we have this framework here, or 3 pieces of it, while we got 1 piece already on here. Now the piece that's already on here does have these plastic adjustment sets, so you can extend the poles out further. And while collapsed, this is the tallest section other than this section here. Now this section here, you'll see has the curve at the bottom. That's going to attach to this bracket here, and that's going to be the bottom of the tent frame. Okay, so you're going to be stepping over that when you come in and out of the doors. This tallest section here that's already attached, it is the back portion, and it's attached to the first hole at the bottom here on that bracket. Now the next section we'll be putting on is this section here. Okay, and it has those brackets on there, you see right here, that this portion of the framework's going to attach to. Okay, so this piece with this extra bracket here is going to attach to the top of the hole here in the middle. Then this bottom framework is going to attach to this bottom hole here. Hopefully that's clear now. So what I found helpful was I separated all the pieces into their groups of 2, like these sections here, into the matching lengths when they're collapsed. And then these square tubing midsections right here, there's 4 of them, and they're going to be what connects all these different pieces. So essentially you have 4 different sets of pieces with an angle in them of all different lengths, and some of them have different brackets on them too. And then you have 4 lengths that are the same of the square tubing to fit to them, that you only put 2 screws in each, even though there's 4 holes pre-drilled. So I hope that explains it a little bit better. The tallest one is going to go on the back. Then, like I said, this one with this bracket here is going to go in this top hole, the middle hole, and then with that bracket is what's going to attach the rest of the roof frame, which this will be at the front of the ice fishing shelter when it's all expanded. And it's the shortest section when collapsed. And then, as I said, this section with a curve at the top and at the bottom, that's where it's going to connect to the frame of the shelter or the toboggan and go to the bottom of the canopy as well. So hopefully that makes sense now. Oh, the other thing that I should mention is there's going to be flanged bolts. Okay, and they do have a specific place to go. They're going to attach this, essentially this last pole that goes at the front to the second set of framework that you're going to put on, and that flange part is going to go in there. Yesterday, we've got the runners on the toboggan. We got the seats assembled, and we started getting some of the framework assembled together and attaching it to the toboggan. So we're going to carry on with that today, getting the frame on the toboggan, getting the canopy or cover over top of the frame and getting that fit on properly, and then there's weather stripping that has to go around behind the canopy to attach it to the toboggan, which also gets screwed in nice and tight and then velcroed all together. And then I also have a hitch for it, as I said yesterday, to put on the toboggan in order for towing behind my snowmobile. You can see our progress here so far. Got the seats, they're all secure, they rotate, they pivot, they swivel. Apparently they were designed in coordination with a company that makes, I can't remember their name right now, but tree stands. So they're designed for people to be sitting long term without too much fatigue on your body. My daughter did find them a little bit high, so her feet are dangling, but again, she's 4.5 feet tall. I believe it should go on right there. Ah, that looks much better. Fits nice and tight there. All right, now we're going to go with this piece here. The next tallest piece that's going to be above our heads. These instructions are above my head. So we'll turn that around, we'll put the plastic piece on, and then it's assembly as per previous one, but it'll be going into the top hole essentially on this red bracket. So that looks right. This is where we use that set of flange nuts. There's only 2 of them in the whole kit there. And then it's going to go right into there. But here we use the oddball set of plastic bushings or covers or whatever you want to call it for this set. So you use different flange nuts for this set, different size Phillips head screws, and different pieces of plastic for this set. So unique in that way. That goes in like that. The 1 3/4 bolt goes in through there. Oh yeah, I can get her in there. Okay, all right, well that was relatively painless. As you can see, we got the floor rails, followed by the front frame of the tent. This will be in the middle, and then this will be your rear portion here. Everything's moving relatively smoothly, so that's good. Okay, so we gotta fully extend this piece before attaching this piece, which goes into the hole at the back of the toboggan. is essentially what the framework looks like. Without the cover, I believe all the adjustments are fairly close to where they need to be. These clasps here go towards the inside. Everything's on the inside for adjustment spots so that you can run the tarp over it without interference. What I've seen with this tarp through other videos I've watched is commonly, I can see how it can happen, the tarp ends up getting pulled all the way over backwards. So I'm going to try to avoid that. It's not lightweight, well insulated. This should be interesting to do for a short guy. Let's maybe work smarter here, not harder. Not exactly feeling smarter yet. I'm going in. All right, all right, all right. Here I am. Well, it appears that I got it on the right way the first time, so that was good because I wouldn't want to have to do that too many times. Use some umbrella lighting with the flashlight here and just show you what it looks like so far. There's these Velcro tabs everywhere that need to be attached to the aluminum frame. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Velcro straps at the bottom of a harder ballistic nylon or thicker. And then we got 1, 2, 3, 4 in the front of a lighter nylon. 1, 2, 3, 4 in the middle, same thing, lighter nylon. 1, 2, 3, 4 at the back. Did everything with the doors zipped up to make sure there was no strange slack. I got a little spot here where the zipper for that door on the right side, my right side if I'm facing the front of the tent, is kind of below that bar. And I'm not a huge fan of that. So maybe with some tightening down, we can get that sorted out. All right, so we've got it all buttoned up on the inside, spreader bars tight, Velcro attached before we extended the spreader bars. I think everything's bolted up tight. I want to say it is. Kind of double checked it, triple checked it in spots. So I think this is what we got. What we have to do now is go around behind the tent, fasten on that seal to seal the tent to the back of the toboggan. So I'll be doing that next.